Hi everybody from BCICAI. Okay, good morning everybody. I am so excited today to see all students here today. It's been almost a decade since I have seen all students sit here together to understand and come together on this beautiful day, on this weekend. It gives me immense pleasure to see all of you here. We appreciate your enthusiasm and eagerness to know more about the CA course. And thank you so much for taking some time off on your weekend. It only goes to show how driven all of you are, even at this young age, to know about the CA course. Just to give you a brief introduction about who we are. So basically, just like how as students you are registered with the CBSE, we chartered accountants are also registered with a board, and that board is called as the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Now we are all affiliated to that board, to that institute, and this institute is present over the years. It is present and has made its presence all over the world, and Bahrain is no exception. So the Bahrain has something called as the Bahrain chapter of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, of which all of us are a part of. And all the chartered accountants in Bahrain usually get together. We have seminars, and we also conduct programs as these. My name is CA Ibrahim George, and I am based out of Bahrain along with all my friends here from the BCICAI. And we've taken this initiative to introduce you to the CA course, to take up this challenging course later on, once you come up in your career, after your school, once you get into your junior colleges. And we have got this marvelous speaker amongst us who's going to guide you and take you through the entire gist of the course. Without taking much of your time, let me welcome you once again to the session. And before we proceed, we would have a few words of welcome and advice from our chairperson, Mr. TV Santosh, who is here amongst us. I would welcome Mr. TV Santosh to speak a few words.
Thank you, CA Abraham. Welcome to BCICAI CA orientation session. All children looks very exciting and a good number of participation. It's a first step, one good step for you to know about a CA course. I'm sure that you will all aware of CA some way or other, but rather when you will be having a good idea about the course, it will be a good thing to know, and you will be able to make a conscious decision based on the fundamentals rather than the hearsay. Okay, Abraham, I congratulate and thank you once again for doing an amazing role of coordinating this effort and connecting with all the schools in Bahrain and connecting with the speaker as well as doing the entire coordination. Kudos to you, and the result is there. We have a very good number of participation, all because of your effort as well as the team BCIC effort. Let us keep it up. Also, I would like to welcome and thank our speaker Rahul Jain for taking out his personal time and trying to help out our students with this orientation session. Also, I welcome all the parents and teachers or the principals and coordinators who have joined this meeting for this initiation and the support. I personally met Indian School Chairperson, Principal and Executive Committee. They extended a warm welcome to us and also support for this program. I thank you them as well as the principals and managers, coordinators of the Asian School, New Indian School, Al Noor School, all other schools which is participating in this, also from others also not belongs to some schools in Bahrain. I think there are children from India also joined. I welcome all of you to this session. It will be a fruitful session. And what I want to tell is that here all this session with an open mind. There can be a lot of notions and stories about CA courses. You might have heard of that. Wipe it off from your mind. Hear it afresh. This course is a very, very normal course comparing to any other professional course with some kind of dedication and hard work. any average students can excel and become a chartered accountant. Therefore, listen with an open mind. And I close my regards and enjoy this session. I give the control back to CA Abraham.
Thank you so much for your words and your kind words, actually, CA Santosh. We now also welcome an important guest today to this forum, Mr. Prabdeep Singh Baveja. He is also a chartered accountant. He happens to be the Regional Director of Middle East and Africa of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He is based out of the UAE. I now welcome him, and I now call upon him to address the students.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Abraham. Sincere gratitude to the leadership of Bahrain chapter under the chairmanship of CA Santosh, and very happy to see that in a very short time since the committee has took over in a month's time, have initiated this counseling session and have brought together so many students on Friday from Bahrain. I'm really very surprised and very happy to be honest, but more happier than being surprised. Chartered accountants in Middle East are present for over 5 decades. Like country like UAE had chartered accountants since in early 1960s. And the chartered accountants all over the Middle East, starting from Bahrain to Dubai, to Abu Dhabi, to Qatar, to Kuwait, to Saudi Arabia, all cities have a significant presence, with our numbers being more than 10,000 spread over the region. When we look into our contribution, we represent like more than 80% of the finance field in the entire region. And the numbers in UAE are very high. Since 2008, when the articleship started abroad, the number of students staying back in UAE and doing the chartered accountancy has significantly increased. Articleship is a very significant thing, and in Bahrain also we have articles present. A little bit challenge we have in Bahrain is that we need a graduation before you get a visa. So that challenge sometimes come up in Bahrain, but otherwise those who are graduate, they get a visa and they do their articleship. In Bahrain itself, many of the students want to go back to India and do, because they feel like they will get a better exposure on the corporate laws and taxation in India than maybe in Middle East. But the things have been significantly changing across Middle East when it comes to the taxation and laws regime, and that has that has made students interested to stay back in Middle East and complete their articleship. When it comes to the chartered accountancy, we have a fear that whether we will pass or not. To be very frank on this, if we as a students continue with our studies with a focused mind, then there is no one who can stop us from passing the examinations. If we see people who have been attempting significantly many times and they have been failing, the reason for that would be that they may not be getting time to study, because Middle East is a region where there is not only chartered accountants, but large number of semi-qualified, like those who may have passed their intermediate and completed their articleship, also work in the Middle East. So when I come to the country without qualifying and working here, I also have an aspiration that I complete my chartered accountancy and become a qualified accountant. So therefore, there are large number of such students who continuously appear. But it may be possible that I do not get a leave from the office. I have seen students who in the afternoon come for examination, and then they are going back to office. If this is the case with me, it's really very, very difficult for me to pass the examination. So mostly if I'm failing, I may have not got the time, and that may be the reason that I am failing. So therefore, we are definitely is a difficult course, but there's nothing difficult and impossible in this world. And the other thing, there are some qualifications which are much easier and much faster to do. My advice on that side is that, do not look for a shortcut, because shortcut do not help in the long term. Our course gives you a complete study, a difficult study which you need in your initial years, so that your foundation and base is stronger and you emerge as a very strong chartered accountant. There are 200 countries in the world, and only 25, 26 countries are there which have a very strong accounting body. And India is one out of that. And there are many countries in the 26. And one country in 26 I'm counting is Nepal, where we helped to form the Chartered Accountancy Institute in Nepal. There are still many Nepalis who do both the qualifications, Indian and Nepalese, but that in 2010, we helped establish the Institute. As in the 2022, we are hosting World Congress of Accountants in Mumbai, which is the Olympiad of Accountants, and which happens once in 4 years. So we, in the past decade or so, have emerged as a very strong accounting body with a presence in over 100 countries, with large number of chapters and representative office across region. Last year, we established many representative offices and chapters in Africa region. And we have a presence across Middle East for the support to the students. There is an examination center in Bahrain. The chapter has been taking many initiatives to give the support on education to the students. So therefore, you have a complete support. You have my office in Dubai for any queries you may have, and Dubai office at ici.in is our office email ID. So therefore, what I would like to say is that when you get to hear our speaker today, esteemed speaker today, please listen to what he is saying with a very open mind and with not a closed mind, where you may be looking to do a qualification of a shortcut. That may not help. So therefore, that's what my advice to all of you. And after the speaker gets over, I'm here. If there are any questions, I'm here free to address. And thank you so much to Bahrain leadership for giving me this opportunity. And last thing I would like to say, we are on to a roller coaster right now, and I wish all the students very best for this, and hand it over back to Abra. Thank you.
Thank you so much, CA Prabdeep. Your involvement and your engagement is always appreciated. Thank you so much for your ongoing help from the Middle East arena. Before we proceed, a few housekeeping rules for everybody. Please keep your mic on mute always. Number two, please note down your questions, and they will all be addressed by CA Rahul at the end of the session. By the end of the session, you may also start typing your questions in the chat box, and they will be attended to. And I would also like you to stay on till the end of the session, because we are going to be having a small and exciting quiz based on today's session, and the top 2 or 3 winners will receive a small gift from us. We will be having somebody who will conduct it. And without taking much of your time, let me go ahead and introduce our speaker for today, CA Rahul Jain. The pamphlet you have received, and you've received his profile. CA Rahul Jain is a chartered accountant who is based out of Hyderabad in India, and has been an all India rank holder at all the 3 levels in the CA course. Dear friends, let me tell you, this is no mean feat. This is not an easy feat by any measure. It is difficult to clear the CA exam. It is difficult to score good marks in the CA exam. It is even more difficult to come in the merit list of CA exam. And then we have CA Rahul Jain, who's come second all over India, and he's done it 3 times. So we have got a very exciting guy here with us. He's received the best paper award from ICI Hyderabad for almost 5 out of 8 subjects. He completed his graduation with 92%, being the topper of Osmania University in Hyderabad. He also happens to be the co-founder and faculty at Rahul CA Academy at Hyderabad, and he's been coaching more than 10,000 students from different backgrounds, children coming from all over the world to Hyderabad to study. We welcome CA Rahul, and thank you so much for extending your support to BCICAI and helping the students over here in Bahrain to know more about the Chartered Accountancy course. We are really thankful. CA Rahul, you can now take it ahead from here.
Thank you so much, Abraham, for introducing me. I think that was too much of appreciation. I would also like to thank the entire Bahrain chapter of ICAI. You guys are doing a wonderful job by conducting this session, which is giving the students an opportunity to understand the entire course. I still remember when I was a student, when I was in my 12th standard, I had so many questions about this course. Nothing was clear. I did not know what CAs do, what are the career prospects. I had to talk to a lot of people. Now, Bahrain chapter is making your job so easier. Now, with the help of this session, I'm sure that all the students would benefit a lot. Your understanding about this course will undoubtedly be very clear. You will not have any confusions about your career options. This is the intent. And even more excited that I got this opportunity to address all your questions. So before I start off with this session, guys, I would want to know from the students, what is your idea about this course? Just a 1-minute interaction here at this point. What is that you think about this course? What is that you think chartered accountants do? It is very important for me to understand your idea or your prospect of how you look at this course. So anyone from the students fraternity can answer this. Anyone, guys, that's absolutely fine.
You can put your responses in the chat box.
Someone says it is related to business. Good. Any other answers? The team leaders of the accountancy team in relation to auditing. Auditing, amazing. Auditing, finance. Okay. Finance, audit, taxation. Taxation. Okay, guys, controlling accounts relating to advanced chapter, accounting, money related to taxation and auditing. Okay, guys, so I think I have now understood accountants based on Ind AS. CA is equal to rich. Okay, so now I totally understand. People are already talking about money here. So I understand your prospect or your idea about this course. See, guys, it is important to first understand what chartered accountants do. What is that you pursue this course for? What are chartered accountants known for? A lot of people here have answered that chartered accountants, basically your answers revolved around accounting, your answers revolved around auditing and finance. Now, when you say accounting, understand like this, beta. So if you go, I have a habit of using the words beta, but then yes, I'll restrain it. So if you go to Lost Paradise, the amusement park of Bahrain, and you take an annual membership there, you pay 99 dinars, or if you go to a mall, you buy products for $300 and they give you loyalty points. There are certain points, reward points that have been given to you. You can redeem these points on a later date. This is from, you are thinking from the viewpoint of a consumer. Let us just now think from the viewpoint of their accounts division. How are they going to account this money? Will they directly record, show the entire amount that they've received as profit? Will the shopping mall, the city center, show the entire amount of $300 as profit? How are they going to record their assets in the books of accounts? How are they going to record their liabilities? What we learn in 11th and 12th in commerce is undoubtedly the very basics of accounting, but then there are complex accounting transactions, way too complex accounting transactions. That is the reason why we have accounting in all the 3 levels of CA. There is one paper in the first level, there are 2 papers in the second level, there's another 1 paper in the third level. We learn accounting in so much detail that no matter what the transaction is, no matter what transaction that the companies, that the corporates enter into, we would know the exact way of presenting it, the exact way of recording it, the exact way of putting it out in the financial statements. So yes, no doubt about it that when it comes to the accounting profession, chartered accountants are at the top of the list. We are known for accounting. Everyone talks about chartered accountants being the best as far as the accounting for transactions is concerned. Now, someone spoke about auditing here. I have an annual report of 1 or 2 companies here. Say this is your financial statements of Ali United Bank. Now, when you say auditing, guys, I would want you to understand what auditing is exactly about. Imagine that you are a shareholder of Apple, or you are a shareholder of Ali United Bank, or if you are a shareholder of Reliance Industries in India. That means you have put your money in these companies. You have invested your money in these companies, but you are not managing the affairs of these companies. You've only invested your amount. You are not running the show there, but you would still want to know whether the affairs of the company are being conducted in an appropriate manner or not, whether your money is being utilized in an efficient and effective manner, whether the company is generating sufficient profits, is the company conducting their affairs in the most appropriate manner. For that, you cannot directly, what if Apple directly comes and tells you that yes, whatever we are doing is appropriate, these are the profits that we have made, these are the assets that we have owned, that we own. You might not directly believe the management. This is where auditors step in. Auditors, chartered accountants, are the people who will verify these financial statements, who will undertake an entire detailed study of these financial statements, and then give their opinion about these financial statements, that whatever are the financial statements presented by the management, presented by the company, are correct. They present a true and fair view. Like here, guys, there is the name of the firm mentioned in an annual report. It says that yes, once you see this, once you see the auditor's report in an annual report of a company, you will be rest assured that yes, someone has verified these financial statements. We can rely, we can depend on these financial statements. We can be rest assured that whatever the company says in these financial statements is correct. This is the most important thing for a chartered accountant. Not just this, guys. I have another annual report. Say this is for Reliance Industries in India. You see, guys, at the bottom of the financial statements, they will mention that these are the auditors of the company. They have verified the financials of the company. So this is what the chartered accountants are actually known for. When you say that we audit, we actually undertake a verification of the financial statements as an independent body. We are nowhere related to the management of the organization. We are acting on behalf of shareholders. We are trying to give an assurance to the shareholders that whatever they have mentioned in the financial statements is correct. We call that as statutory audit. This is what your CA, this is what chartered accountants are actually known for. A majority of chartered accountants get into the practice of accounting and statutory audit. Apart from this, guys, there is also internal audit, apart from the audit on behalf of shareholders. Now, if you talk about an organization like Apple, it's a huge organization with billions, hundreds and billions of dollars of revenue. Do you really think that the management can interfere? The management can verify each and every operation in a detailed manner? Can they check the efficiency and effectiveness of each operation? It will not be possible for the people who are running the show to verify each and every transaction, or to undertake to simply check all the processes. So the management themselves also will hire certain people to undertake audit of their own operations, audit of their own processes, audit of their own financial statements. Now, this is not audit on behalf of the shareholders. This is audit on behalf of the management itself. This is called as internal audit. The three basic things, most important things that chartered accountants are known for: accounting, statutory audit, internal audit. The next important thing that we are known for is taxes. Now, I understand that there is no tax, there are no taxes in Bahrain. There's only a VAT that has been introduced recently. But apart from that, there are no taxes at all in the, yes, in Bahrain. But then when you talk about other countries, we have this complex tax structure. Every company, every individual who makes certain amount of income is supposed to pay taxes to their government. Now, not every person, think from the perspective of an engineer, think from the perspective of a doctor, think from the perspective of, say, an engineer running a company. Do you really think he will understand the entire structure of taxes? Will he understand how the entire tax structure works? No, right? We need people who specialize, who have expertise in the respective fields. So this is where, again, chartered accountants step in. We learn taxes again at the second level and the third level of CA course. We understand the tax structure. Though the taxes that we learn at the second and third level are from an Indian perspective, but it gives us a great insight in understanding the tax laws. It doesn't matter whether you practice in any country later, whether you are specializing in any other country's taxes, you will be able to understand their tax structure in a way to efficient manner. So see, we normally see these reels on Instagram that Apple barely pays 2% of taxes on their profit. Now, this is tax planning. Apple has structured their corporation in such a way in multiple countries that a majority of their profits gets booked in countries where there are, very low taxes. This is again where chartered accountants step in and advise the management that this is how you're supposed to structure your organization. This is how you're supposed to have your organization, set up in multiple countries so that you can reduce your tax burden. So again, this is where chartered accountants step in. We have a lot of international taxation. Guys, gone are the days where an entity is just restricted to one nation. We see that entities have presence in multiple nations. They might have to pay taxes in India. They might have to pay taxes in Middle East. They might have to pay taxes in US. Chartered accountants will help the companies in framing their tax structure, in framing their entire organization structure properly. Another major area of practice for chartered accountants, another major area where chartered accountants work is the taxation department. The next thing, guys, is here, students, is secretarial practices. Now, when you say secretarial practices, every government will have a lot of regulatory bodies. They will want to know what the businesses are doing. If there is Reliance Industries in India, like we have Ministry of Corporate Affairs in India, the MCA, that is a regulatory body for all the companies. So Reliance Industries will have to regularly submit their financials to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. A lot of regulatory bodies. There is something called as SEBI in India. So I'm pretty sure all the countries have regulatory bodies like this. So you will have to submit, there's a lot of documents that you'll have to submit to these organizations, to these regulatory bodies. CAs also help organizations in all of these secretarial practices. Now, when it comes to finance, imagine that you start a business. You do not have sufficient capital to start the entire business. You will want to raise capital. Now, will you want to offer ownership to another person? Will you want to borrow money from a bank? Will you want to borrow money from friends and relatives? How is that you are going to bring in the amount of capital? See, the objective of this session is to understand what are the, in a very simple manner, as to what is the role of a chartered accountant. That is why I'm just giving you pretty small examples so that you get an idea about what accounting is all about, what auditing is all about, what taxes are all about, what secretarial practices are all about. So if you take a corporation like Apple, they might have lakhs of transactions. They might have millions of transactions undertaken in a month. So when they have millions of transactions undertaken in a month, they will have to properly arrange for those funds. So, you have some amount of balance in your bank. You will have to ensure that if you have issued a check to someone, on the day the check counts for clearing, there should be sufficient balances in your account. We call this as treasury operations. You might receive revenue in dollars from some other country. You might have to pay in Singapore dollars. You might have to pay in Australian dollars. So all of these operations, all of these jobs are also performed by a chartered accountant as a part of a finance team of an organization, understanding whether they should bring in money in the form of equity, understanding whether they should borrow money, what is the best thing in which funds can be raised by a company. That also is a job of a chartered accountant. A lot of people who are in employment, who join companies, end up in the finance team. A lot of chartered accountants who take up employment and join corporates like, again, whatever annual reports have shown you, if you join Tata Motors, if you join Reliance Industries, if you join some bank of Middle East, you will usually end up in the finance team performing all of these tasks. Or you might end up in their accounting department. You might end up in their internal audit department. There are a lot of unconventional areas also where CAs work. A lot of unconventional areas. You will be shocked to know that a lot of chartered accountants also have a scope in advising the ministries, in advising the government regarding economic policies. Yes, chartered accountants do take up such jobs as well. Imagine that we have a actual role to play in nation building. We are advising the government, we are advising the ministries in framing the economic policies. What should be the tax structure? How much taxes should be levied? Where are the incentives? Which sectors should get incentives? This sector should get subsidies. All of that is again a part of chartered accountants' work. There is investment banking. Now, to help you understanding investment banking, it's a simple thing, guys. Say I have a business. I run a corporate hospital chain. I want to sell a part of the stake of my corporate hospital. So I approach an advisory firm. And I tell them, can you look for people? Can you look for firms who are willing to invest in my firm? who are willing to take up ownership, a part ownership in my firm. Now, these people, these advisory firms, investment bankers, these advisory firms are the investment bankers. They in turn will look for those people who have surplus funds and who are looking for investment opportunities, who are looking for parking their funds in certain corporates, in certain businesses. So chartered accountants are working to a crazy extent. There are a lot of people who are getting into these investment banking roles. We help people, we help corporates in their restructuring of debt. A lot of complex terms that are here, but then understand that in a nutshell, investment banking is where you have, again, you are an advisory firm. You have a role to play in relation to finance. You are helping firms raise capital. You are helping firms sell their businesses. You are helping firms acquire other businesses. If Reliance Industries today says that I have surplus funds to the extent of $10 billion, or say Byju's in India says that I have surplus funds of $1 billion, I want to acquire other firms. So you will approach these investment bankers, you will approach these M&A firms and tell them that, boss, we have surplus funds. We are looking for good investment opportunities. We want to acquire other firms. So these investment bankers, these firms will again look for businesses who are willing to sell their businesses. Like Byju's in India has acquired Akash IIT Institute for almost $1 billion. So there are chartered accountants also playing a very, very good role in these firms. Now talk about valuations. Imagine that you are the owner of Akash Institute. I just gave you an example of Byju's acquiring Akash Institute. If you are the owner of Akash Institute and you've made it very clear to a CA firm that I want to sell my firm, but I do not know what is the value that my business can fetch. I have absolutely no idea. I am not a CA. I do not know how to play with these numbers. The CA firms will help you. The CA firms will help firms like this in placing a value, in understanding what will be the value of the firm. How much can you sell your business for? How much will your business fetch? If Zomato is issuing shares in India, what is the price at which shares of Zomato can be issued? That is valuation. Now, I've just read it in the news that Snapdeal in India is planning to come out with an issue. So what is the price at which Snapdeal can issue their shares for? So this is valuation, arriving at the value of any security. If you want to buy a house, now you will want to know what is the appropriate value that you will have to place on that house. How much can you purchase that house for? Now that is pretty easy because you know what is the ongoing market price. But when it comes to valuation of businesses, it is a little complex process. This is where, again, people depend on chartered accountants because of the extensive knowledge that we gain in the field of valuation as a part of this course. There is finance covered in your second level. There is finance covered in the third level as well. And forensic audits is, again, a very interesting field for chartered accountants. If there is some kind of fraud going on in an organization, chartered accountants actually play, I would say that chartered accountants actually play the role of a detective. They will want to identify where did things go wrong? Where did someone siphon off funds? That is forensic audit. You keep hearing in news. Just say I'm based out of Hyderabad in India. There's a recent news article that some person, managing director, has been arrested for siphoning funds of their clients to the extent of almost 3,000 crore rupees. Now, the regulatory bodies might hire chartered accountants firm and then tell them to conduct a forensic audit, understand how or if at all a fraud has been conducted and what is the extent of fraud here, how much funds have been siphoned. Chartered accountants have a very, very big role to play even in forensic audits. This field is growing. This field has tremendous potential. Technology. Okay. Now we see a lot of financial technology firms. You see that whatever accounting that we learn in 11th and 12th, it is not that in reality we sit and prepare balance sheet, we sit and prepare trial balance, we sit and prepare profit and loss account. Most of the operations are automated. Today, there are softwares that will directly pick up all the transactions from your bank records and prepare your profitability statement. But then these softwares were prepared with the help of chartered accountants. Any software that is rolled out in relation to accounts, in relation to finance, requires the help of chartered accountants. Chartered accountants play a very important role. There is a chartered accountant, again, recently there's a 2016, I believe, chartered accountant has started a fintech company in India doing amazingly well. That's a startup. Chartered accountants get into amazing businesses. In a nutshell, the kind of knowledge that you gain out of this course, not just in one field, you are not just mastering accounting, you are mastering auditing, you are mastering costing, you are mastering finance. If Apple wants to know what is the price at which they will have to sell the product for, they might again need the services of a chartered accountant who's telling them that, boss, this is the exact cost of your product. Now, Apple is not just manufacturing one product, they're manufacturing multiple products. There are expenses incurred, common expenses incurred for multiple products. You might want to accurately know what is the cost of a specific product. So only if you know the cost of a specific product, it might help you in pricing your product. If Apple is deciding that the price at which they will be selling their cell phone is $999, they will obviously take their cost into consideration, that cost be $400 or $500. But then, yes, they will have to accurately arrive at the cost of a product. We chartered accountants help in costing procedures. We chartered accountants know how to accurately determine the cost of a product, even in a very complex manufacturing sector. Whatever be the sector, we will help. We understand how the entire process of costing works. So we will help them in arriving at the pricing of their products. So there are a lot of areas where chartered accountants work. I had a discussion with one of my friends. He was telling me that chartered accountants even work in HR department, human resource department. So there is no limit to what chartered accountants can do. That is basically because of the tremendous knowledge that we gain out of this course, the subjects that we have in the entire course, the kind of knowledge that we gain in the entire course, guys, is amazing. It's tremendous. I understand that prior to me, the regional director, sir, was mentioning that this course is not difficult, or people consider this course as difficult. I would say that this course requires a little effort. You should show interest. Any field, if you want to succeed, obviously you will have to put in effort. Success does not come without a cost. You will have to put in effort. The only difference is that we start putting in effort immediately after our 12th. We do not put in effort on a later date. So with this, I will talk about how the entire course works. So in chartered accountancy, there are 3 levels. There is CA Foundation, there is CA Intermediate, and then there is CA Final. Now, if you are in your 12th, you can attempt your CA. So right now, if you are in your 12th, guys, I'm talking from the perspective of a student who's in his 12th class now and will write his board exams, will write his 12 boards in 2022 March. You can register for CA Foundation on or before 1st of Jan. Jan 2022. If you register with ICAI on or before 1st of Jan 2022, you will be eligible to write your CA Foundation in May 2022. You will be eligible to write your CA Foundation exam in May 2022. If you clear that in the very first attempt, you will be eligible to write your CA Intermediate in May 2023. Once you clear your CA Intermediate, you will be eligible to write your CA Final in May 2026. In May 2026. 1 second, guys, there's a message. Yeah. So I will talk about the respective courses in a little detailed manner, but understand. So if you are in your 12th board right now, you will be eligible to write in May 2022. CA Foundation in May 2022, you clear that, you write your CA Intermediate in May 2023. And then after that, you will have to work under a chartered accountant, which we call CA Internship, Articleship, for a span of 3 years. That is the most important thing of our CA career. And then you write your CA final exams in May 2026. So if you clear everything in the first attempt, you start your CA course in May 2022, and you are a qualified chartered accountant in May 2026. That is at the age of 21 or 22 only. At the age of 21 or 22 only. And you get tremendous knowledge in this span of 4 years. Alternatively, if you think that you will not be able to study or write your exams in May 2022, you can register anytime, even now, or on or before. This is again for the 12th students only. You can register on or before 1st of July 2022 to write your CA Foundation exam in November 2022. It doesn't matter whether you register now or whether you register on a later date. So you should be registering with ICAI on or before 1st of July 2022 to write your CA foundation exam in November 2022. You clear that, you will be eligible to write your CA intermediate in November 2023. You clear that, you will be eligible to write your CA final in November 2026. Simple. This is how it works. The basic criteria for registration as far as CA foundation is concerned is that you should have cleared your 10th. If you have cleared your 10th, you can register with ICAI, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So this is your ICAI website, guys, ICAI.org. Once you go to the website of ICAI.org, under student section, you will see Chartered Accountancy course. Under Chartered Accountancy course, you will have the entire detail of how the entire registration process works. There is Chartered Accountancy course details as to when are you supposed to register for CA foundation, when are you supposed to register for CA intermediate. But where are we supposed to register? So if you, again, I'll just come back to the home page. So when you go to the home page, you will see a tab called as e-services. You will see a tab called as e-services. Under e-services, you will see student services. Under student services, you will see entry level forms. You just have to start filling your details. Now you can do this, remember, after you've cleared your 10th. Only after you've cleared your 10th, you can register for CA foundation. So that is the criteria for registration for CA foundation. The criteria for attempting CA foundation is that you should have appeared in your 12th boards. Appeared, doesn't matter whether you have cleared it or not, but then the criteria is that you should have appeared in your 12th boards. Only then you will be eligible to write your CA foundation exam. That is why if you're in your 12th board, even if you register now, you will be able to write your CA foundation at the earliest only in May 2022. You will not be eligible to write your CA foundation exams prior to that. So all that you should know as of now is that the registration for CA foundation is after your 10th standard. After 10th. And your CA exam, CA foundation exams would be after you appear in 12th boards. After you appear in 12th boards. So this is how the system works. So if you are in your 11th standard now, you can easily plan the entire, you will be able to plan your entire 11th and 12th studies and also your studies for CA foundation. You can register for CA foundation in this year or in the next year. The only criteria is that if you wish to write. So if you're in 11th standard, the earliest that you can write is in May 2023. You will not be eligible to write prior to that because you will be attempting your 12th boards only in the year May 2000, only in the month of March 2023. So if you're attempting your 12th boards in March 2023, you will be eligible to write your CA foundation at the earliest only in May 2023. It does not depend on you want to write this year. See, remember the criteria is that you should have appeared in your 12th exams for you to write your CA foundation exam. To write exam in May 2023, remember you should have registered. The registration with ICAI. Registration with ICAI should be on or before 1st of Jan 2023. That is at least 4 months prior to your exam. You should be registered with ICAI at least 4 months prior to your exam. Only then you will be eligible. In case you register on 2nd of Jan 2023, you will not be eligible to write in May 2023. You will be eligible to write only in November 2023. So a student can decide whether they want to attempt the CA foundation exams immediately after the 12 boards, or do they want to attempt after a gap of 6 months. If not May 2023, you can write the exams in November 2023. CA exams are conducted twice in a year. So whenever you start your CA foundation, whenever you write your CA foundation exams, after a gap of 1 year, if you clear your CA foundation exams, you will have your CA intermediate. Once you clear that, you will start your internship, and then you will have your CA final exams 3 years after that. And then yes, you are a chartered accountant. So this is as far as the registration is concerned in CA foundation. Now, I will talk about internship. I will talk about undergraduation. A lot of students have doubts regarding undergraduation. Are we supposed to do BCom along with CA, or are we supposed to skip BCom? Should we do a regular course? Should we do a distance course? There are a lot of universities in India that have morning colleges. The timings of BCom colleges are 6:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. So you can attend BCom colleges also along with your CA course, as in you can finish your undergraduation, you can finish your graduation along with CA course. But then there are a few universities, you get attendance exemption as well. They do not mandate on you having a 90% attendance or 80% attendance. There are a lot of colleges that are fine with 50% attendance if you are a CA student. On the basis of your CA registration, they give you attendance exemption as well. On the basis of your scores, they give you attendance exemption. A lot of different colleges in India, different colleges have different rules. Like Delhi University does not give any exemption. It is important that you attend undergraduation at any cost. You have to attend college every day. So their students usually delay their entire CA course. Why should they delay, sir? Is because of articleship. In CA course, there is something called as internship. There is something called as articleship. This is what makes CA course, in at least in my opinion, the best. We learn on the job. After we finish CA foundation, after a gap of 1 year, we write CA intermediate. In CA intermediate, the papers are segregated into 2 groups. You may not remember all of that now, but just to give you a glimpse that there are papers segregated into 2 groups. Even if you clear one group, you can start your internship, you can start your articleship. Any one group, group 1 or group 2 or both the groups, you can start your internship. Now, when I talk about internship, you actually work under a chartered accountant. You are working under a CA. You perform accounting work, you perform auditing work, you will learn taxes, you will learn if your CA firm, wherever you're interning is into valuation, you will learn valuation work as well. So you get on the job experience of these different fields. This also helps us in understanding which field will we want to specialize in after we become a chartered accountant. What is that we like? All of those things we understand during this course itself. During this course, or during this internship period of 3 years, undoubtedly it will give you a great insight of how businesses work. You will understand your clients' businesses. You will understand how accounting works, auditing works. I have seen a lot of students who say that, okay, after they do their internship, they want to pursue career only in statutory audit. They like doing audits. So this is something that is made for them. Few students say, no, I want to make a career only in taxes. Few students say that we want to make career only in investment banking. We want to pursue only valuations. So you understand that after doing your internship, you undergo a rigorous training under a CA for a span of 3 years. Now, because you are undergoing training under a CA, you cannot attend college during the daytime. It is not allowed to attend college during the daytime as per our regulations. Obviously, because you have to work during that time. This is why many colleges have these morning sessions for students. They say, we understand that you are undertaking articleship. We understand that you are working under a CA. So you can attend college in the morning from 6:30 to 9:30. But there are many colleges under Delhi University that do not have a morning college. So their students finish their CA intermediate, then they will wait till they finish their BCom, till they finish their undergraduation, and then take up internship. That delays their entire CA career by a year, by 1.5 years. But yes, they want to do graduation from Delhi University College. That is why they prefer that option. Or there's another option wherein you can just do distance learning. You do not have to attend a regular college. You can directly register yourself at the university and write exams. So there you do not have to attend college. So there is no problem at all. Absolutely no problem. So you have multiple options of your undergraduation. You can easily pursue your BCom along with CA course. A lot of students, almost 95, 98% of the students do their BCom along with CA itself. It is pretty easy. It is manageable. You do not have to worry about that aspect. So remember, you can register for CA Foundation after your 10th boards, after you clear your 10th, but you will be eligible to write CA Foundation exam only after you appear in your 12th boards. Then you will be eligible to register for CA Intermediate after you clear your, I will be sharing this presentation as well, or you can go through all of these details on ICI website also. So you will be eligible to register for CA Intermediate only after you clear your CA Foundation and you also clear your 12th. because you were allowed to sit in CA foundation exams only after appearing in 12th. By the time, usually when you write your CA foundation exams in May 2022, if you're eligible to write in May 2022, your 12th results will not be released. Your 12th results will not be out. That is why ICAI has permitted students that if you have appeared in your 12th, you can attempt, you can sit in CA foundation exams. But yes, for you to register for CA intermediate, that is the next level of CA course, you will have to clear your 12th. You will also have to clear CA foundation. Only then you can register for CA intermediate. Once you register for CA intermediate, after that you write, as in there should be a minimum gap of 8 months, but then because CA exams are conducted only twice a year, there will be a gap of 1 year between your CA foundation exams and CA intermediate exams. Now CA intermediate has 2 groups. You will have to clear at least 1 group to start your articleship. From there, after 3 years, you will be eligible to write your CA final exam. So in case you immediately start after your 12th, in a span of 4 years, 2-3 months, you are done with this course. You are done with the entire course if you clear everything in the first attempt. People do talk a lot about this, they say that CA is a difficult course, the pass percentages are low. As I said earlier, this course requires effort. This course requires students to be dedicated, to be disciplined. Nothing else matters. If you are interested, if you are dedicated, if you show, if you are someone who prepares on a timely basis, like our regional director also said that a lot of students neglect their studies. That is why the pass percentages, that is why they fail the examination. That's the exact reason. If you are prepared well, how will you even fail the examination? So this is the only thing I see. This is a question here that can you do CA intermediate after your undergraduation? Yes. I did not include that in my side because I was told that a majority of them are only 11th and 12th standard. You can pursue your CA course after your undergraduation also, that is after you finish your BCom. You will be exempted from writing CA foundation. You do not have to write CA foundation if you start your CA course after. One second, guys. If you start your CA course after your undergraduation, but then that process works a little different. You will have to clear your BCom with or any other undergraduation course with a minimum of 55%. You will have to score 55% in your BCom. And then you will have to start your articleship first. After you finish your undergraduation, we have to start articleship first. You will have to finish a minimum of 9 months of articleship and then write your CA intermediate exams. We have to start our articleship first, register for CA intermediate course with ICAI, register for articleship, start our articleship course after our undergraduation, undertake minimum of 9 months of articleship, and then attempt our CA intermediate exams. And then after CA intermediate, you have to perform, or you will have to finish the remaining period of articleship. Overall, the articleship period is only 3 years, nothing, not more than that. It is not that if a student is doing his CA course after his undergraduation, he will have to do more amount of articleship. No, the overall period is still 3 years. If you perform 9 months here, you will have to perform the remaining 2 years, 3 months after your CA intermediate exams. So the overall period of internship will still be 3 years, nothing else. There are a lot of students, there are a lot of questions popping up there. I will answer all of those questions, but then yes, there is an option of starting your CA course after your undergraduation. But then guys, being someone who runs academy, who's into this field for a very long time, I always suggest that it is better if you're very clear that you want to pursue this course. It is preferable, it is easier for you to start off this course immediately after your 12th. If you do not want to write immediately after your 12th, you can take a gap of 5-6 months and then write your exams. Write your exams in November. That is how you can plan your studies. Okay. Now, Abraham, should we take up the questions? This is what I wanted to tell the students. If you have any questions for me.
Definitely, we can open the floor to questions. The students can start either, if it is convenient for you, you can start typing your questions on the chat box, and CA Rahul will attend to them.
Okay, yeah. There's one question regarding
I think the first question is about a student trying to do 11th and 12th in science, basically.
Guys, I've seen a lot of students who are from science background, who have taken, say, BPC, that is biology, physics, chemistry, students who have taken maths, physics, and chemistry as a part of their 11th and 12th. It doesn't matter, because when you do CA foundation, you are doing everything from the scratch. When we say accounting, they teach you from the very basic thing. So this course assumes that irrespective of your background, see, having said that, undoubtedly a commerce student has an advantage because he's done a little bit of accounting in his 11th and 12th, but that does not mean a science student or a student from a different background cannot take up this course. In fact, when I was a student, the best authors of accounting were all from science stream. I hope, Ibrahim, even you will remember that the best authors in India as far as accounting was concerned, were all from science background.
Yes.
They are the ones who take so much interest in the subject. They understand everything in a very detailed manner that they master the entire subject. So yes, there's absolutely no problem. Irrespective of your background, you can take up this course. You will need a little more effort than a commerce student, because commerce students already have accounts in the 11th and 12th, they have economics. So yeah, the amount of effort required for the first level will be a little more, but after the first level, there's absolutely no difference.
Okay, Rahul, I've got a direct message from a student who's asked me, it's a very simple question, but actually the answer to this is supposed to be very profound. He's asked me, is ACCA easy? Now, I would like to understand that these are all students from 9th, okay, and the first time they're going to get a taste of their CA is after another 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and they're going to get a taste of CA only after like 2 years, 3 years, and 4 years. So why should people have the perception that ACCA is easy and people should not take up CA because it is tough? You can make CA easy for yourselves, right?
Yeah, as I said earlier, it all depends on your attitude, how you approach a particular course. If something is easier, then everyone will do it. It all depends on your future growth prospects. You're not just supposed to compare past percentages. You're also supposed to compare what are the prospects of a CA, what are the prospects of ACCA, what is the growth ladder. It's not where you start, it's also where you end up on a later date. How much will your salary increase by, how much, what will be the increment year after year. So yes, I wouldn't say it would be fair to directly compare ACCA with a course like CA. That different things altogether. So people do have this perception that ACCA is easier. Yes, Abraham.
Rahul, it will be good to actually let us talk about the difference between CA and ACCA, because Bahrain, and for that matter, all of the Middle East has got a huge population of ACCAs as well. Can we talk about, how the profession of CA, which is spread over almost 5 years, the kind of weightage that it is providing to the students vis-a-vis ACCA? The kids would like to really know about that.
See, like you said, as a part of CA curriculum, we get on-the-job training. We are actually working for 3 years under a chartered accountant. The examination toughness, undoubtedly, the CA exams are more tougher. The ACCA exams are easier when you compare them with the CA course. I have a lot of students who have done their ACCA. The only complaint that I normally hear from them that, sir, it is easier to finish your ACCA course. We would start off our career with ACCA course, but at some point our growth gets restricted. We are not given those promotions. We're not given those increments year after year. If there's anyone on here who has known an ACCA personally, I'd be more happy if they can address this question as well. Abraham, for that matter, even you can.
Yeah, I would like to pitch in and maybe telling that.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Yeah, myself is CA Santosh, chairperson of the chapter. Okay, see, what is my experience or interaction with ACCA? In the Middle East area, a lot of ACCAs are there, it's employed. But most of them are not Indians. For Indians per se is concerned, you are a chartered accountant, they will give a respect and employment. This is mostly for localized population. For them, CA is never an option because it is restricted to Indians and a lot of conditions are there. Therefore, for them, the only option is to do ACCA. That is why they are doing. But an Indian acquires that qualification, it will not be never par with a chartered accountancy, even may not be par with the ACCA of the local population. They get a accounts job because of those jobs are prioritized for them. Some qualification is required related to accountancy, then it is fine, but not for an Indian origin person. ACCA is never equal to CA.
There's another question that I've got is, I'm currently doing a BSc in mathematics, economics, and statistics. So would you suggest me to go for CA? Also, could you speak about the procedure in brief on attempting CA after completing a BSc degree?
See, will I suggest someone from a BSc background doing CA would totally depend on your interest. Are you interested in this field? Do you like the jobs? Do you like what CAs actually do? Should answer that question, whether I should suggest you to take up CA or not. As I said earlier, it doesn't matter from which background are you coming from. I have seen a student who was from BTech background. She was doing her engineering. She pursued her CA along with engineering. So because she was very keen on doing a CA course. So it all depends on your interest. So if you want to take up this course after finishing your BSc degree, as I said, you will have to register for CA Intermediate. You will have to register for Articleship with ICAI. Entry level forms, the same website that I've just shown you, ici.org. Once you go to the home page under e-services, you will see entry level forms, foundation and intermediate. If you take up this course after you finish your BSc or after you finish your BCom, you are termed as a direct entry student. That is, you're not doing your CA foundation, you're directly taking up CA intermediate. So you just have to register with ICAI, also start your articleship, finish your articleship for a period of at least 9 months, and then only you can attempt your CA intermediate exam. That is the procedure that you will have to follow if you want to pursue after your bachelor's degree.
There's an interesting question. Why is the third part of CA exam 3 years after the second part? So obviously the person who's asked me this question needs to know about the weightage of CA final.
Any chartered accountant here can take up that question. Everyone has gone through this process.
Yeah, see, that's what Rahul.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, Santosh, if I may.
Discussion. Tanu, I'll just a minute. Okay. Rahul, in his discussion, it is clearly mentioned. I remember a couple of times he told, I don't know how far our children able to understand that. Say, a chartered accountant, the difference is the kind of training he's getting. That 3 years training is making for a chartered accountant. That's the kind of area he discussed on accountancy, taxation, audit, and rest of all the areas we are getting experience those 3 year period of time. That is the essential and beauty of this course. If that is not there, this course is not there. It's any average course other way around. Okay, that's from my side. Back. Okay, Stanu.
Somebody said that CA is equal to rich. The reason making money is not easy, my dear friends. Like it's too early for you to get the entire magnitude of this at this age. But once you reach ahead in life, you will realize that. And having a CA degree means you actually come from pedigree. It opens doors for you even after you are 25, 30, 35, 40. So that's why it makes things a little difficult. And there's a gap of 3 years because obviously there is an articleship aspect involved. And of course, you have to prepare for your CA final. CA final is the final, it's like it hits you like an express train. The syllabus is huge. You will realize that your maturity level has increased. It is the CA final course which will finally, catapult you to finally feeling that you can actually take up the CFO position of a company. And that is why the institute gives you enough time to study for it and to practically train for it. I'll take another question over here. And I think Rahul, you'll be able to answer this very well. The question is, within these 4 years, is it possible to learn all the information that CA has to offer in one go? I think the student looked at the traditional areas of employment, investment banking, taxation, valuation, auditing, internal audit. So a student wants to know, in 4 years, can we learn everything? I'll give a short answer. I would like Rahul to give a longer answer. Short answer is yes, you will learn everything, but you will not be specialized in everything. Because to specialize, you need to choose one and make your life in it. I think Rahul should answer
No,
more.
yeah, as you rightly said, you will be a jack of all trades, but you will have to decide in which field do you want to master your skill in which field do you want to specialize in. So that specialization comes with experience, and that would require a lot more experience, not just 3 years of internship. You will be learning a lot even in your career after clearing the CA final examination. So yes, this 3 years, this 4 years of student's life will provide you with a lot of knowledge, I would also want to add, when someone said, why are we given a span of 3 years after clearing CA intermediate to attempt the CA final exam? Remember, if a very short time frame is given, we do not understand the subjects in a very detailed manner, in a way they're supposed to be understood. We just do the subjects for the purpose of clearing exam, but not for the purpose of gaining knowledge. But the intention at CA final level is to ensure that a student gets expertise in the subjects that is writing exams in. So that is why there's a considerable gap after your CA intermediate and CA final, so that you actually gain knowledge of every subject and not just do them for the purpose of clearing exams. There's one more direct message to me, Abraham. Yeah, 1 second. Is max important? Can a student do this course without max? You do have mathematics in CA foundation paper. There's one paper dedicated to max. There's mathematics, there is statistics, there is logical reasoning. Even if you did not take up max at 11th and 12th, it is absolutely not a problem. You will be doing it from scratch. So do not worry about it. Do not have these, apprehensions that I am not from a max background. Will it be possible for me to do this? There's absolutely no problem. You can still take it up. You will still be able to perform very well. Finance is related to mathematics. So yes, we need mathematics at the base level so that we understand all the concepts of finance on the later stages of CA. And
Rahul,
someone also asked me one more question, that did I do my CA after 12th or after BCom? I did my CA after 12th only. If you have an option, or if you're very clear about doing this course, and if you have an option of doing this course after 12th, I would simply suggest, why should I delay? Why should I delay? Why should I prolong things? Yes, Abraham.
Rahul, if you mean, there are some questions. There are some questions which students are asking repeatedly, and that is relating to ACCA versus CA. So if you don't mind, can I take a minute and give them the difference?
Absolutely, sir. We will be more than happy. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thanks for that, Rahul. Well, students understand there's a difference between a professional degree and an academic qualification. So an ACCA, unless and until you undergo professional articleship, even there, your ACCA degree is not of any value. You would have got yourself graduated from ACCA, but you will still need a certain number of years of experience. The flexibility that ACCA gives versus chartered accountancy is that you can do your articleship after your certification. Till the time you get your certified, that is degree as ACCA from the ACCA Institute, you are only a graduate ACCA, not authorized to sign audit reports. So that is a primary difference. So please do not think that ACCA is easier versus CA, or you get some discounts, or it will make your life easier in ACCA versus chartered accountants. That's not the case. There is a requirement for articleship. It's just that you can do that at a later point in time after clearing your certification. Other question that I have seen commonly come up is by selecting which course they want to do, science background versus commerce background. Mrs. CA Rahul has already answered that, but I'll take a minute on that front. Please understand there's a difference between an academic certificate or a qualification versus a professional qualification. CA, chartered accountancy, is a professional qualification. It's not an academic qualification. So when you do CMA, it is a certification. It is not a professional qualification. It's a course that you can do for 6 months or a year, write 2 exams, get yourself certified. That's a certification, not a qualification. You understand the difference between certification versus qualification. That's very important. In addition, regarding the question of time frame between 3 years, most of you have got access to smartphones, and some of you would be seeing YouTube videos. And in the YouTube videos, it will show how to cook. So all of us have seen some favorite dish of ours. Most likely pizza would be something that we all like. Pasta would be something that we all like. And we would be seeing those videos. The question is, by seeing the video, you know how to prepare. But have you actually prepared it? The CA articleship actually makes you prepare. And the final tests you whether you have prepared it right or not. So Please understand, the articleship is the period where you're tested, you're trained and you're tested. The quality of you as an individual is improved. Back to you, CA Rahul. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir, for adding all of that. Yes.
I'll take a few questions which the answers are pretty yes or no types. Is there an age limit for registering and passing your CA? No, there is no age limit. Even your parents can register for CA right now and start doing it. I hope, Rahul, nothing has changed on that front.
Yes, correct. Absolutely nothing. Yes.
Okay, number one. Second thing, one quick question is,
Someone.
do CAs have,
yes, Abraham, you can continue. Yeah.
Yeah. Do CAs have scope abroad or not? My dear friend, please correct me, Santosh. How many chartered accountants are there in Bahrain? I think around 600, 650, right? You are mute.
Not less than 750 chartered accountants are there in Bahrain.
Not less than 750 chartered accountants in Bahrain. And I cannot see Prabdeep here, but definitely Prabdeep will tell us the number of chartered accountants in Dubai and Abu Dhabi should be more than, in each of the chapters should be more than 2,000 each at least.
No, 7,000. Dubai alone is having 7,000.
7,000. And the icing on the cake, let me tell you, my dear friend, the Dean of Harvard University, Shrikant Datar, is an Indian and he's a chartered accountant. So, a chartered accountant, and he did his IIM graduation, and he did his MBA from IIM, and then, of course, life took a different path for him. So, when you talk about going abroad, it's about how life takes you, how you make a path for yourselves. It could be Africa, it could be Japan, it could be Argentina, it could be Alaska, or it could even be, you could be a CFO of a huge listed company in India. So end of the day,
Abraham, I would like this to be answered by Prabhadeep. See, Prabhadeep is here. He will tell that how many chapters we have across the world and where are all chartered accounts are working. He will be a best person to answer this question.
Yeah, thank you, Abraham, Santosh. In my initial address, I mentioned that we are present in 100 countries almost, and there are on an average 40,000 chartered accountants, which is like around 20%. You can say out of active members, they are abroad. And when it comes to the chapters or representative offices, we have a criteria to be met, and then the chapter comes into place. So therefore, it may be possible that there are large number of chartered accountants and we don't have a chapter. But over the it becomes difficult to bring together 20 members altogether. So we changed the criteria last year and we started with representative office. So we are present in now 80 countries, and our vision is to have a strong chapter, 100 chapters by 2024. And when it comes to abroad qualification, many times we just concluded 5 days program where we had chartered accountants from North America, Indian chartered accountants from Australia, Oceania, Africa, Middle East, Europe. So we had each themed day, and only South America is a place where our presence is limited. So, and many of the chartered accountants repeated on the public platform that, when they came, it was not very important for them to gain a local qualification, because as I told you that there are 200 countries and 26 countries have a strong accounting body. So therefore, I may need another country's qualification if I need to go for practice. If I need to be in industry, then my study is as equivalent to as any other country. And the other thing is that now many of the accounting bodies have made it easier for the other accounting body members to gain their membership. Like we have a mutual recognition agreement with so many countries: Australia, New Zealand, Canada, England, Ireland, South Africa. So therefore, it's easy for you to gain a membership in those countries. And if you wish, you take a qualification of that. So therefore, our presence is there all across the world. With regard to the ACCA presence in Middle East or significant presence in some countries in Europe or Africa or Asia, the reason for that is that, you know, there are many countries who do not have their own accounting bodies. So therefore, ACCA is very aggressive in those markets. And there are many nationalities, people who do that. And many of the speakers here have spoken about the differences. And in my initial address also, I said that we should not believe in shortcuts. And the other thing, very valid point, which was emphasized by Sthanu, I think, is that, you know, you complete your ACCA papers before you start your articleship. So, and Rahul mentioned that at the age of 21 or 22, you can be qualified as a chartered accountant. So that shortcut also is not left out, like which I said, which I meant when in my initial address. So therefore, there is significant need of understanding the things, understanding the markets, understanding the courses, understanding the differences, and then taking a decision. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pradeep. There is this very
Pradeep
interesting question, Rahul.
Just 1 second. Abraham, just 1 second. Thank you, Pradeep ji. I think past chairperson of Bahrain chapter, CA Kapil Batra, raised his hand. He want to talk something. Please, Kapil ji.
Yeah, good morning to all. Pradeep ji, I think we should tell our budding students that CA is now equivalent to master's qualification. So while they expect themselves to be a graduate at the age of 21, 22, they can now expect them to be a postgraduate, and they will be eligible to do doctorate if they want to pursue education as an educational career, like CA Rahul is there. They can do wonders in that field also. So it's not only about the practicing of accounting, it's also about distributing knowledge to others to create a better knowledgeable workforce in future and contribute to the society. Thank you.
Thank you so much, CA Kapilji. Rahul, this next question is very important actually, and obviously you'll be well poised to answer this because you are dealing with students of different age groups and so many of them. This question states, could you please explain what are the reasons for majority of the students not clearing the CA exams when they are reminded about interest and hard work in what to do? Why majority of the students are unable to clear? So basically we can talk about the psychological aspect and how to keep the interest burning for 5 years. And what are the major pitfalls that students fall into? Then that could be really helpful for the students to understand what they should look forward to in order not to come, the issues that they should be aware of, the problems that they should be aware of, personally, psychologically, academically.
Yeah. Okay, Abraham. So I've seen someone asking, mentioning that the pass percentage in CA is only around 6%. So students, the pass percentage in CA foundation is around 35%. The pass percentage in CA intermediate is about 20%. In CA final, again, it is about 15%. It changes, it varies from one attempt to the other attempt. You cannot come to a conclusion that it is only 5% or 6%. The reason, again, as Abraham said, there are a lot of psychological factors. We are dealing with a vast amount of knowledge. The CA syllabus is quite massive. There is a lot of small concepts that are covered. So everyone is excited about the course in the beginning. Everyone is dedicated. Everyone puts in the entire effort on day one. What matters is your consistency. When you're participating in a marathon, if you're running for 42 kilometers, you do not start running at a very great speed from the beginning. You know that what is important is you reaching the finish line. You will have to cross the entire 42 kilometers. You'll have to run for the entire 42 kilometers. So there's a pace at which you go. So that is the most important thing here. Understanding that you will have to maintain a balance between everything. You do your internship, you do your, you also have to study along with it. A lot of people get distracted during their internship. They neglect their CA final studies. Now, if you plan your CA final studies well in advance, 2 years, 2.5 years in advance, right after clearing your CA intermediate, if you allocate a little time every week, every month towards your CA final preparation, it is absolutely not difficult to clear CA final exams. A lot of students neglect the entire CA final preparation during their internship, and they directly start studying in the last couple of months, in 3 months, 4 months. That is why it becomes a little difficult for them to clear the examinations. Otherwise, if you plan things ahead, if you plan things in advance, there's absolutely no problem in clearing the examination.
Okay, there are a few questions I've received on this topic, and that is in BCom, which specialization has to be taken so that you can get exemption in papers in chartered accountancy. Chartered accountancy does not give you exemption in any of their papers for any specialization you have taken in your 11th, 12th, or 3 years of BCom. You have to do the course of chartered accountancy in its entirety. The only place in chartered accountancy where you will get an exemption if you are already a chartered accountant of, say, England and Wales, or a CPA from Canada, or I think CPA in Australia, and the other countries where Prabdeep mentioned that the Indian Institute of Chartered Accountants has a tie-up with, which means you have to already be a chartered accountant to get some exemptions. It's not the whole degree. It's not a like a total switch of degree. Okay, so right now for your level, when you're asking a question regarding 11th, 12th, and 3 years of BCom, you have to do the whole CA course in entirety, because none of the subjects come close to the depth which the ICAI covers. Okay.
There are other questions like, is there a need to do BCom? Is there a need to do post-graduation? There's absolutely no need for you to do your undergraduation or post-graduation. It has already been mentioned that finishing your CA degree is equivalent to post-graduation degree. However, there are a couple of students who also prefer doing their MBA after they finish their CA. That is why they also prefer doing BCom along with CA. And there are a couple of posts in India, government jobs, government entities, PSUs, that require a student to finish both BCom as well as the CA course. But then that does not hold good now, because CA has been given the status of post-graduation degree. So
there is this question which says, sir, where will we get the materials or reference notes for CA Foundation, or is it what we study in 11th and 12th? My dear friend, I would like to emphasize on this one particular thing, that the CA course in India is one of the cheapest courses, and it gives you the highest return on investment. Let me give you an example. When you register for a CA Foundation, of course, you pay a certain fee to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. The institute gives you a material set, which you can sit at home and study. Now, over and above this, if you want any specialized books, of course, you can take refer books from certain authors, other publications as well. For that matter, CA Rahul himself also has got his own notes. So there are different professors who've got their own notes. So, but in any case, when you register for CA Foundation, later on you register for CA Inter, when you register for CA Final, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India gives you an entire set of study material along with the registration, and it's at a very reasonable cost. Another question is that we've received, I think CA Santosh can answer this. Can we do articleship in Bahrain?
Yes, we have many practicing chartered accountants who are doing auditing here. Under them, we can do articleship. There are quite a number of chartered accountants are here, but there are a couple of limitations here to do a articleship. That is very technical. We cannot get a visa. See, for us to do a articleship or a stay here, we need a visa. Those kind of visa, which is in this category allotting, need to be a graduate. Therefore, a student who is looking for an articleship option here before completing the graduation will be a challenge. Other way around, we have a lot of options for articleship here.
There's a question that has come up. I want to know the institutions or colleges in Pune for doing CA. First of all, let me clarify, no college teaches you CA. Okay, CA is basically it's a self-study course, but of course over a period of time, many people have started their own coaching classes, and people tend to attend. But I am aware that there are colleges in India which also teach you ACCA in parallel to their BCom degree. So they have packaged their courses like that. But CA is usually not taught by colleges themselves. Okay, and Pune, just because I am also from Pune, let me tell you, Pune is a hub for chartered accountancy. It's a huge, I don't want to tell over here which institution. If you land in Pune itself, you'll come to know where to do your charter, how to go about your chartered accountancy. Another question over here, if you are not able to clear any of the CA exam, are we going to have the CA exam in the next year or in the following attempt? If you can just tell it in simple words. I think the question is regarding repeat attempts, basically. CA Rahul.
Yes. So there's absolutely no restriction on the number of times you take your exams. If you do not clear your exams in May, you take it up again in November. You do not clear it in November, you take it up again in the next May. We come across a lot of people. It is pretty common. So yes, someone talks about cutoff marks here for passing in CA finals. At all the levels of CA, the criteria is the same. You are supposed to get a minimum of 40% in each subject, and overall you should be scoring 50%. 40% in each subject, overall 50%. Your CA course is segregated, CA final and CA intermediate, into two groups. So in group 1, if you score a minimum of 40% in each subject and overall 50%, you clear group 1. In the next attempt, you will have to write only group 2. Or if you are scoring a minimum of 40% in both the groups and an overall 50%, then you clear both the groups at once. So they're just segregated into group wise for your, is to make it a little more easier. That's it. Yeah, someone has mentioned this already here. Huh.
Can you discuss about career opportunities after getting CA degree? I think it has already been covered in the initial slide regarding so many different career options people can do. And regarding specialization, I got a lot of direct messages on specialization. Dear friends, the scope is so wide that you, at the onset, you would never understand which field is good for me. It's only once you enter into the market that you will understand whether forensics is good for me, what interests you. Somebody asked me what is treasury management. So say, for example, I get a job in treasury management of a company. I will learn the skills of the trade while I'm into the job. I know that treasury is for me or it's not for me. When I move to my second job, maybe it could be something where I'm taking my knowledge from treasury into the next job. It always keeps adding to your knowledge portfolio. It keeps building up on your knowledge portfolio. And then after a few years, you realize that you have a knack for valuation, or you have a knack for audit or accounts. Or one thing that we have not spoken about here is practicing. The Institute of Chartered Accountants highly encourages chartered accountants to go ahead and set up their own practices. There are many incentives that the ICI provides for by way and by means of publications, by means of sessions, practice building measures for setting up your own CA practice. So you could be your own boss for that matter. You could be doing all kinds of engagements that come to you over your career.
There's another direct message to me which says, if I cannot clear one group, when will I be able to attend the next group? As I've informed earlier, that CA exams are conducted twice in a year. If you attempt in May, you do not clear one group of CA final, you can take up the other group immediately in the next attempt, that is November. If you write in November, you can take it up in the immediate next attempt, that is May. Yes. CA final exams are also conducted twice in a year, just like CA Foundation, CA Intermediate, CA Final. All the three levels are conducted twice in a year. That is in the month of May and in the month of June. That is the status as of now. Someone says, can we appear for civil service examinations like IAS and IPS after finishing CA? Yes, you can appear. You can do all the other courses after finishing CA. There is no such restriction.
CA Rahul, again, this is a very practical question. Could you, like, since you're talking to so many students, you're teaching so many of them, could you shed light on what is the routine life of a CA foundation student? A typical day in the life of a CA foundation student.
The life of a CA foundation student is as much pretty same as a 12th standard student, because you do not have your internship in during CA foundation. You do not have your internship during CA intermediate. Your life, I would say, basically changes only after your CA intermediate, when you start your internship, because this is the phase wherein you report in your office by 10 a.m. in the morning. You might work till 6 p.m. You might work till 7 p.m. You might have to study either early morning, or you might study on the weekends. You might study late in the evenings. So yes, the life of a CA student is pretty much packed up after they clear their CA intermediate for the entire period of 3 years when they do their internship. But this is also a fun period wherein you learn a lot of things. CA foundation, CA intermediate is just like your 12th. Undoubtedly, you will have to put in more effort. You keep studying on a daily basis regularly to clear your examinations. That's a different part. Otherwise, yes, it's the same thing. You do your classes, you study for about 8 to 9 hours per day in your CA foundation and your CA intermediate on a regular basis. Yes. Yeah.
Is there any difference between articleship and industrial training? Yes, this is an important question.
Yes, Ibrahim, you can also answer this if you wish to.
Okay,
Anyone?
so friend,
I can. So
no, I think
the rule has been
because CS Santosh has done industrial training. I can let it
okay.
come from.
So I would just want to add that the rule was changed recently. You can now undertake industrial training for a period of 18 months. Earlier it was only 12 months, but now they've changed it to 18 months. Yes, Mr. Santosh. Yes.
Yeah, see, 3 years of compulsory training is told. As per the previously, now the Rahul rightly told that it is extended to 18 months. First 2 years, it should be your articleship only under a practicing chartered accountant. The latter part of the 1.5 years now, 1.5 year, 18 months, you can do in an industry. Okay, when just previous time, it is after the qualification. When we immediately after graduation or foundation started, once you qualify your intermediate, you are eligible for that. Now also I think it will be that, but it will be based on the options of vacancies. The industrial training options are very limited. Therefore, a very few only will get an option of the industrial training. The difference is the one training we are getting under a practicing chartered accountant, other we are directly getting from the industry perspective. That as of now, that will be the only difference.
I would just like to add, sir, the total period is still only 3 years. The minimum period of internship has been made as 18 months. You'll have to work. You'll have to work under a practicing chartered accountant for at least 18 months, and the remaining period can be done as industrial training. So the overall period has been still kept at 3 years only. It's still the same.
Industrial training means basically you can work in a proper company and not a chartered accountancy firm. Usually for your articleship, you have to join a CA firm. Whereas for industrial training, there are a list of companies which ICAI has approved, where you can go ahead and register yourself to actually work in a company, and that will be considered as your articleship. So that is what is industrial training.
Yeah.
But usually,
Abraham, see, one student, Mr. Naveen, has raised very good question. He is telling, if I fail in the second stage of the CA, do I have to do it from the beginning? So I would like CA Rahul Jain to put some light on this. How much time they have to clear the CA final once they clear CA inter, and the CA first stage. Once you clear, Naveen, nobody can snatch that degree from you. And that also, I believe, CA Rahul Jain, that still we continue with that certified accounting technician status for CA inter. Please throw some light on this.
Yes, sir. So we are not playing a game of KBC that if you miss out on one question, you go back 5 levels down, or you go back 10 levels down. So if you have cleared your CA foundation level and you do not clear your CA intermediate level, you just have to write your CA intermediate. You do not go back to the level of CA foundation again. You've cleared your CA intermediate and you do not clear your CA final in the first attempt, you just write CA final again. You do not go back to the previous level. As Mr. Kapil Batra also said that no one can snatch your degree from you if you've cleared your CA intermediate. Yes, you have your CA intermediate degree with you. Those students who discontinue the course after the CA intermediate can also apply for a certificate called as accounting technician. Only after clearing one group of CA intermediate, you will be given a degree called as accounting technician course holder. That's a separate degree given, which would indicate, or which would mean that yes, you possess the knowledge of the accounting. So that's an additional degree that you can get. Otherwise, yes, there's no going back. If you do not clear one group of CA final, you just have to write that group in the next attempt, nothing else. There are few questions like, can we choose under which CA we do your internship? Yes, you have the option of choosing wherever you want to do your articleship, provided there are vacancies, there are proper interviews conducted. You will be interviewed. It is depending on the vacancies available in multiple firms. You can apply and do your internship. Do we need to register online for ICAI? I've just showed you the process. I've taken you to the website also. Yes, or the entire registration process is now online. You do not have to visit a branch.
Rahulji, there's a question where one student is asking that she is from Sri Lanka. So if I register for CA, can I continue to complete the course in Sri Lanka, or can I register in the first instance? So could you please answer that?
1 second, sir. So you can complete the course in Sri Lanka itself. I'm not sure if a student is allowed to undertake articleship in Sri Lanka. Can
I think CA Prabdeep, this question should be directed to CA Prabdeep.
Yeah.
You are on mute, sir. Prabdeep, you are on mute.
The student itself from Sri Lanka, not from India. Okay, so the nationality of the student is also Sri Lanka.
Yeah, all nationalities, are allowed to do the chartered accountancy. Initially, it was like only from Asian countries can do chartered accountancy, Indian subcontinent, but all can do chartered accountancy. And from any country, you can do articleship. But the rules, guidelines for articleship abroad are little bit stringent, wherein there are two very important requirements which a chartered accountant, Indian chartered accountant needs to meet, which is that Indian chartered accountant should be having a full-time COP, and the other thing, he should be having an audit license to sign in that country. Now, when it comes to Sri Lanka, we may or may not be having an Indian chartered accountants practicing in Sri Lanka. So if we don't have any Indian chartered accountants practicing in Sri Lanka, then you may not get any opportunity. But in between, ICAI has been looking to further make reforms in the articleship, and there may be some changes in future. It may or it may not be like ICAW allows other body members also to train the students, but right now we do not allow. So therefore, it depends upon how the things change. And but my understanding is that we do have chartered accountants in Sri Lanka, but I'm not sure of practicing chartered accountants. So that is the must.
CA Prabdeep, while you are at it, I would like you to add one more thing and talk about one more aspect, and that is, dear friends, the ICAI is an institute, of course, which gives you the ICAI degree, but it is one of the only institute which actually, it's like, the institute is like a spouse. It gets married to you while you are a student, and it goes on even while you are a member all throughout. Okay, so even when you pass your CA final, I'm not aware of the current situation that Mr. Prabdeep can talk about it. ICAI used to conduct placement camps in all the tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 cities in India. So I'm not aware if it is still going on because of the COVID regulations, but there is the ICAI calls in companies, and there are big placement camps where those students can make their first attempt at getting into a company using those placement camps.
So we have placement camps, campus placement, which it is called, after each result. And after the COVID started, we became very flexible with wherein all virtual interviews were allowed, because physical presence was not possible. And the other thing what we did was that when students applied on our portal and companies shortlisted them, The interview schedule was prepared by us so that if any student is choosing 4 or 5 companies or companies shortlisting them, there is no overlapping. So that part was done by us, but we left it to the organizations to conduct their interviews as they feel convenient, like on their own platform. The schedule was given by us. So therefore, when we did this online virtual campus program, the results were much better, than we were able to achieve earlier. Furthermore, in June, we did career accent, where we made it open for all who had a minimum 1 year of experience. And the result of that, when giving an online opportunities for the companies to interview, the placements which we were able to make for those people who are already having a job increased by almost 4 times. So therefore, and there are campus job portals, portal by Icai, where a lot of opportunities are posted. We have done overseas campus also, specifically only for the overseas opportunities. And in the main campus also, there are a large number of overseas companies from Middle East, from Asian region, from Singapore, from Africa, who have been coming in. And a couple of days back in one place I was mentioning that, Olam is a company which has the largest presence, in Singapore and Africa. And it's a company which largely picks rank holders. So we may have apprehension that whether we want to go to Africa or not, but large number of our chartered accountants working in Olam are based in Africa, and most of them are rank holders. Like Rahul today is a rank holder with us today. So therefore, all across the world, there are opportunities which on campus it's provided, and the results have been very good.
Thank you so much. I think, dear friends, we have covered the entire gist of the CA course over here, and we always remain at your disposal to clarify any doubts that you have regarding the whole course. I would like CA Rahul to share with us his closing words before we move to the Kahoot quiz.
Abraham, I would again like to thank everyone for giving us this opportunity to actually address the questions of CS, all the students, because as I told you in the beginning that students are actually confused. They do not know what chartered accountants do or what is the entire course about. So this is an amazing initiative. Thank you very, very much. An amazing job. And a special thanks, a special congratulations to Abraham. He's been amazing as far as the entire coordination work is concerned. You've done a tremendous job. And in case you have any other questions, students, you can always reach out to us. As Abraham said, you can either reach out to any of the members of ICI Bahrain chapter, or you can also reach out to me. I'll be sharing my email ID, or you can also text us, because you are kids. You can also text us on Instagram at the same ID of Rahul CA Academy. You'll find us on Instagram. You can text there if in case you have any doubts. That's it, Abraham. Yeah.
Thank you so much, CA Rahul. Dear friends, I'll also like to tell you that I know there is a lot of information over here regarding registration time frame, and this is not something that we can commit to memory so easily. So this entire session that we had today, we would be putting it up on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is BCICAI. I think it's BCICAI. I'll just put down the link over here. Just give me a moment. And also, you can send your your queries into the BCICI email ID. I'll put that over here as well.
You need to put Abraham, you need to select the participants as everyone.
Yes, yes, yes. And I'll also share the YouTube channel link where we usually post all our sessions. Just for your information, the Bahrain ICI conducts a lot of technical sessions every month, and all our sessions are put up on YouTube, so you can access our channel and you can see a lot of chartered accountants, what we do. There are a lot of corporate social responsibility, CSR activities that we conduct. We are part of the Bahrain society as well, so we try to embed ourselves with the social fabric over here. There are activities that we carry out with the Indian Embassy. So we put up all that on the channel, so feel free to be part of that as well. Now moving on, we'll have a small quiz over here, very small and exciting one, which will be taken up by CA Flannel. And just to let you know, CA Flannel is somebody who is born and brought up in Bahrain. He will give a small, before he starts the quiz, he'll give a small brief about how a student in Bahrain who studied all his life in Bahrain, stayed here, studied over here, went to India, completed his CA, and he's back over here. I'll not take much time. I want to keep this very brief. Flannel, please take it up.
A very good afternoon to all of you here. Hope all of you have been enjoying this session thoroughly. I will be taking up the quiz session, and I hope all of you are excited for it. The highest scorers will be winning a prize, which will be announced later. But before I begin that, let me just say this. A lot of you did ask whether CA is a very hard exam. And I just like to mention a quote, I think, which could answer that. The difference between the impossible and the possible lies in a man's determination. And I think that sums up all of it. Coming to me, I am currently in Bahrain now, but till 10th standard, I was studying here in Bahrain. During class 10, when I had to decide what is the career stream that I'm going to take, I thought I was going to be like my classmates taking software engineering. But at the last moment, I came to know of this course called CA, and that is when I decided to take it up. And that led me to go to India to pursue my exams. So I did my 11th and 12th in India. After that, I took the entrance level exams, intermediate. I cleared that. And after that, I wrote the intermediate exams while attending the evening BCom college. And I cleared that as well. I joined CA Articleship while continuing my BCom in the evening college. After I finished my articleship, I gave my final exams, and is in hand, I was also pursuing my MCom in the same evening college. I completed my MCom. I also completed my CA, and I was in audit and indirect taxation before I decided to return to Bahrain to my parents here. When I came to Bahrain, I was working as a financial controller in one of the company in the oil and gas here. And just recently, I've changed my job in finance in KPMG, one of the audit firms in Bahrain. So that's just a background about me to tell you all that I studied here in Bahrain, just like all of you. And here I am today as a chartered accountant working in one of the most reputed finance departments here. I also have friends who didn't leave Bahrain after 10th. They stayed here in Bahrain, studied till 12th. In the commerce stream. After that, they went to India to pursue their chartered accountancy course. So I have friends like that too, who are working with me here and who have returned to Bahrain and are working with me as well. So this is just a background of me and of how, no matter where you are, if you're determined, you can definitely do it. If you set your mind towards something, don't give up till you achieve it. So with that said, let us move on to the most awaited quiz session for the evening. I'm just going to take a minute to share my screen, and I will share some instructions with you all on how you all can join the quiz. Just a moment. Okay, I'm just sharing this Word document first. All of you have to just go to kahoot.it and enter in the PIN number, which will be displayed soon. Just a small instruction, please enter your full name, and in the bracket, you can put your school. For example, I am Flannel D'Souza from BCICAI. So I will be putting Flannel D'Souza bracket BCICAI. So similarly, I would like all of you to enter your names there. How to do it? I'm just going to share the game screen with you all, and we will start.
Daniel, can you put the pin in the chat box?
Yeah, I'll do that. So if you go to kahoot.it, you will have to enter your pin here. This is your pin. 3059849. I'm just going to be pasting the link in the chat box. Just a minute. I hope all of you are excited for the quiz, and I hope some of you have already gone through quiz sessions through Kahoot. So just a heads up on how we are going to be doing it. Once all of you join into the quiz session, we will be locking the quiz session so that no one else can join in between the quiz sessions. So I request all of you to join as fast as possible. We will have 2 minutes. We'll wait for everyone to join in and we will start the quiz. The quiz is a small but fun quiz session based on what was spoken by all of our panel today and our keynote speaker, CA Rahul Jain. We have 70, 80, the numbers are increasing at a very fast rate as all of you can see. Just a minute, let me increase my screen. Okay. We already have 91 people. That's very good. So the quiz sessions will be very easy. What will happen is the questions will be displayed on your screen here in Zoom. If you're using your computer, tablet, or mobile phone, you will have to just select the options. Options will be given and you will have to select the options. So it's going to be a very easy quiz. If all of you have paid attention, you're going to be easily able to attempt all of it.
It's like a fastest finger game.
Yes. And the faster you answer, the higher your points will be. So get pressing that button. So we already have 110 participants. That's a very good number. I hope all of you are very excited for this quiz. Since all of you are mute, let me just open the chat box. Yeah. Okay, someone asked for a link for the quiz. I just put it on the chat box. It's www.kahoot.it. The moment you go there, you just have to enter the pin, which is displayed on your screen here. I've also put this pin in the chat box. I'll just put it again for everyone's benefit. We'll wait 1 more minute and then we will begin the quiz.
I think that's good, Flannel. Almost 119 people. I think the others. So maybe we can start it. So,
yeah.
You know.
Okay, then.
Because I think it's near everybody's lunchtime. All the kids might want to.
Yeah, that's true. But just as you started speaking, even more numbers, even more people. Yeah. So that's good. Okay, I think just 10 more seconds and then we're going to start. Okay, with that, I'm going to lock the quiz and we're going to begin. Just lock it. Okay. Without further ado, let us begin. I hope all of you have your screens ready. This will be your first question. The moment you see the questions and the options, take your device and answer it. The keynote speaker, Rahul Jain, secured ranks in which levels of BCICAI? Those who are paying attention to the profile that was being discussed will definitely be able to answer this question. So is it the entrance level, the intermediate level, final level, or all of the above? Your time is up. A lot of you have gotten it right. That's a very good number. Okay, let us see the rankings. So Devika, Dave, and Ayush Shetty are on the top right now. If you observe that the person who clicks the fastest has the highest score, even though they all got it right. So click as fast as you can to be on the top rankings. Let's move on to the next question now. This is a true or false question. Chartered accountants only focus on auditing. Is it true or is it false? A lot of you had answered in the beginning when Rahul Jain had asked, what do you think about CA? And a lot of you had mentioned auditing. And this question is revolving around that. So the time's up. Let us look at the answers. A lot of you have gotten it right. Very good. Let us look at the scoreboards. But before that, yes, chartered accountants don't focus only on auditing. They're spread throughout the field. They're in finance, accounting, law, IAS, IPS. It is completely up to you where you want to specialize in once you become a chartered accountant. So let's look at the scoreboards. And we have Devika and Dev. Their rankings have not changed. Divyesh has come up. Good job. All right, let's move on to the next question. What are the conventional areas that chartered accountants dwell in? A, is it taxation and corporate laws, finance and accounting, auditing, or all of the above? This is a very easy question, and I'm sure you'll be able to answer this. The time's up. Let's look at the answer boards. Okay, a lot of you have gotten it right. So that makes me really happy because a lot of you are paying attention. So that's really good. Let's look at the scoreboards. Okay, so we have Naveen coming up to the third position. That's good. Otherwise, the scoreboard remains the same. And we also have answer streaks. A lot of you are answering correctly. So that's also a good thing to see. Let's move on to the next question now. What is some of the unconventional or rare areas in which CAs dwell in? A, is it investment banking? B, is it mergers, acquisitions, and valuations? C, is it technology and automation? Is it D, all of the above? So earlier we had discussed about conventional areas where you find chartered accountants in. These are the unconventional areas. I do see the numbers have come down from the previous question, but still there's a high number towards 65. So chartered accountants may be found in all of these areas. So let's move on to the scoreboards. And I see Michelle, I hope I pronounced that right. Michael or Michelle has come up. So let's move on to the next question. This is a true or false question. www.ici.org is the website of the CA Institute in India. Is it true or is it false? So those of you who want more information on the course can always go to the Institute's website and click on the student section. So the website discussed, is this the website? Is it true or false? Okay, that's good to see the scoreboard. So if you ever need any information on the course, you can always go to the Institute's website and get more information on that. Okay, there has been a little bit of a change in the scoreboard. That's good to see. We have Ishan come up. That's very nice. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The next question is going to be more of a puzzle. So what you all have to do is you will have to arrange the answers in the chronological or in a puzzle order. So here is the question. Arrange the chronological order. Chronological is misspelled, my apologies. Arrange the chronological order discussed to complete the CA after class 12. So what do you have to do first until the end? So please arrange this in the right order. And you have a lot of time for this. So think and just read carefully, think and answer it. We have another 30 seconds left. I already see 85 answers. That's a good thing. 15 seconds more. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And your time's up. Okay, so 80% of you have gotten the order correct. That makes me really happy. It shows that a lot of you were listening attentively. So I'm really happy about that. Now we come down to the last question, which there are no points for this. Just more of a feedback. Did you enjoy the session? Was it helpful to you? You can just select yes or no. Okay, I'm happy to see that 98% of you have found this session very helpful. That's a very good number. With that, let's see the winners. We have Devika from ISP, who has come out first, followed by Michelle or Michael Moniz, and the third is Ayush Shetty. And we have the fourth and fifth person as well. So a very congratulations to all of you, dear students. All of you have paid attention to the whole seminar attentively. In this quiz session is more of who clicks the fastest. So congratulations to the winners as well. So with that, without any further ado, I hand over the session back to Abraham. Over to you, Abraham.
Michael, can you please, Michael or Michelle, can you please type in the chat box which school you are from, because you haven't written that in the parentheses. All the three winners we will be contacting you, and you'll get a small gift from okay, you're from ISB. Thank you. You'll get a small gift from us. And to the two children who didn't think that the session helped you, please get in touch with us, preferably both of you. We will clear all doubts that you have. And dear friends, it gives us a lot of pleasure to see all of you over here. It gets us back to our school days. Thank you so much to come and attend this session in its entirety, right from 11 o'clock. It shows your interest towards shaping your own futures. Thank you so much. I thank CA Rahul, and more than anything else, I thank all the principals of the schools that you're from, also the committee members in your school for driving this initiative. To close this session and give a vote of thanks, I would like to once again call upon our chairperson, CA Santosh, and he can close the session from here.
Yeah, thank you, CA Abraham. It is very nice to be here in this Friday, and a lot of participation and decimated a lot of information. I'm sure that children have benefited out of this session. And I thank you, CA Rahul Jain, for being with us and sharing your thoughts and knowledge about the CA course on behalf of the Bahrain chapter. Also, I would like to extend our sincere thanks and gratitude to CA Prabdeep Baveja, Director, Middle East Representative ICAI. He is always helpful to us and also pitching in with doubts whenever children had a doubt or clarification. I would like to thank you, CA Abraham, for wonderful coordination and effort doing entire task. Also, CA Flanil D'Souza for conducting the Kahoot session. Also, CS Thanumurthy for the entire coordination. On rest of the executive committee members who are joined in and out to facilitate this particular initiative. I would like to thank you all the principals, management of the all the CBSE schools in Bahrain. They are given an wonderful support to us to ensure that this it's conducting this initiative becomes successful. I also would like to announce that in the future also we would like to have some kind of session which will help you in the commerce or CA related activities, may not necessarily an orientation course. The way the Kahoot quiz participation is an amazing and it is encouraging. We would like to have a much more elaborate and detailed Kahoot session for the children in the future. Okay, therefore, please be in touch with us. Also, I would like to all the winners to be in touch with us. May not be your full details unless you put it properly. We may not be able to contact you, but ensure that you are contacting us and we would like to give a gift for you. In the future also, all this initiative, we will would like to be part with you and will help you out with that. And also, once again, I thank the parents of all the children who are joined, or also those who are not able to join. Don't worry about it. We'll be putting this in YouTube. You can you always visit our YouTube channel, get the details. Also, can touch with BCICAI or any of the executive committee members or even any members. I would also like to thank you, CA Kapil Batra, taking out his time and joining for this program. And all the students, from bottom of my heart, I thank for the wonderful participation. And I think by this we'll wind up. Back to Abraham.
Thank you, everybody. Have a nice time. Best wishes to all of you. Please take the right decisions in your life. We will be in touch with all of you whenever there is any session or any kind of programs where students can be involved. Thank you all so much, and we can call it a day over here. Thank you. Bye.